guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, gonna do an update to a video I did about 2 weeks ago, which was titled, I trusted my gut and found over 3,000 messages between my wife and her lover. She's begging me to stay. And guys, as a recap, because it's been 2 weeks, that's all about the young guy. I believe he's in his late 20s at this point. He's been married for a few years now. He's in the Navy, both he and his wife. And long story short, just recently, I believe it was May, he found evidence of his wife having an affair with one of the guys that serves under her. In fact, he found over 3,000 messages between the two of them back and forth. Obvious evidence that they've been hooking up, etc., etc. And then him wondering how the heck I'm going to deal with this whole thing with her, because he's a father, all that. And by the way, he got married like 21 years old, which is way too young. And I suspect is because she got pregnant, and that's certainly the case. And he was looking for advice, and you guys were awesome. You guys really took your time to respond to a situation, give him good, solid advice, especially you military guys that are either serving right now or you served in the past. And so he's writing in with an update to his situation, and so I figured you guys would definitely want to hear about this, and he wanted to get this message out and obviously hear my advice as well as your advice as well. So it continues with him saying, hello SSM. So it's been a few weeks since I've written you on my current situation. I'll add some more backstory here before I delve into the new happenings. In the course of our 3.5 years of marriage, we've had our ups and downs as any couple does. One notable down was a legal situation, which I will not get into, but it put a lot of strain on our relationship. We got through it all, but that was a year of hell. All relationships can have ups and downs, marriages certainly, but that doesn't excuse betraying your spouse, whether it's her betraying him or him betraying her. And newsflash, life ain't easy. There's going to be hardships, and you're going to be there for each other. Remember the vows in sickness and health, in richer or poorer, all that other shit. You get the point. Life ain't easy. That's why people that get married too young without experiencing some difficulties and challenges really are kidding themselves, because then when they get married and those things come their way, and they always do, they don't know what to do. And then their true colors are shown. Anyway, I was 21 years old when we got married, and she was pregnant at the time. I married her because I thought that was the right thing to do as a man and a future father. I get your reasoning, and I'm sure you thought that was the right thing to do, but it just simply is not. The old-fashioned way that you get the girl pregnant, you got to go off and marry her, blah, blah, blah. You know how many couples did that and were miserable back in the day? You may not realize it, but I had an older couple in my family growing up. And I always called them Aunt such and such and Uncle such and such. Well, I found out when I became an adult that they were dating, they were youngsters, and we're going way back in time. I think like the 40s or something. No joke. And because she got pregnant, and my great uncle pretty much said, you're going to marry her to him. And, they got married, and they barely said a word to each other for 50 or 60 years. Unhappy. You don't need to do that, guys. You get a girl pregnant and it is yours, okay, fine. Obviously, if it is your child, you're going to take care of that child financially, and that's the right thing to do. But it doesn't mean you got to marry her and rush off to be with someone that you don't know. Problems will happen, guaranteed. I've been in the Navy for 7 years, and she's been in for 10. She does not intend on retiring at 20, but I do. Now to the present events. There have been many sleepless nights for me, thinking of what happens next. We've talked for hours and hours about our feelings and our future. I told her that I wouldn't make any hasty decisions, but that what she did is inexcusable. You're damn right. I know you're thinking things over, but at the end of the day, we all know what needs to be done. She's telling me that she cheated because he made her feel special, and that I wasn't the man she needed me to be for some time because I prioritized things over her. There you go. It's not my fault. Oh, no. It's your fault. You prioritize other things over me. Gee, I don't know, working to pay the bills to provide for my family, like you and our child. Are those the type of things? Bullshit, honey. We got married in sickness and health, rich or poor, blah, 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 blah. Support each other. Of course she blames him. And that guy that was doing her was just telling her everything she wanted to know. And I guarantee you that if you were probably around more, she'd be bitching and complaining they didn't have enough money. Because if you recall, guys, in the first story, he was working a lot. He was deployed or stationed to work at times that they weren't always together. Guess what? If I'm not mistaken, that's life in the military. Honestly, she's right. Things have come up, and I've had to put them before our relationship, whether it was work-related or whatever. Well, that's work, how you provide and pay. Don't let her bullshit go in your head, dude. I wasn't there for her when she needed me emotionally a lot of the time, but I always did what I had to do to keep a roof over her head. Cars running and the food on the table. Exactly. That's the right. You're going to have a problem taking care of your child if there's no roof over your head or a car running or things like that. Now, I'm guessing you're in military housing and all that, but still. If you weren't doing all that, she'd be complaining because there wasn't enough money, so you can't win. Don't let her make it you think that's your fault. It's not your fault. If she would have truly communicated to you about the problems you worked together, this wouldn't have happened, but she doesn't give a shit. I drafted some legal documents with the assistance from my attorney for her to sign. They are a separation agreement which separate our assets in the most desirable way for both parties. In this agreement, she signed to release any claim to our marital home. Hey. Remember, guys, he has proof of her cheating, which is a big no-no in the military, as you guys are well aware, those of you guys are in the military or served. My attorney also said to hold the affair as leverage to get her to play ball with me for an amicable divorce, and I have been. That's what I thought you should do. I remember from the last story, I was like, don't go ratting around to her, I guess what you call commanding officer or whoever is in charge, because that can cause a whole shitstorm. But if you can just hold on to that evidence, hey, give me a smooth divorce, nobody needs to know, and you don't need to be in deep shit. I'm glad your attorney thought the same thing. I read every comment on the initial video, and I appreciate all the feedback. See, guys, I tell you, comment away. You really help these guys out. To those who want me to report her to my commanding officer, I see why you said that, but I have another 15 years to deal with this woman, whether or not we are married. I'm holding that card as my last resort if things get ugly. Articles 92 and 134 would be appropriate in this scenario, but as I said, that's my last resort to protect myself. Okay, I got no problem with that, bro. Trust me, she knows you have that. As a side note, I don't think I mentioned this before, but her affair partner is also married and has a child. I haven't told her that I'm ready for a divorce yet. That'll come in the next couple of days. Well, I believe he sent me this story today or yesterday, so I'll be eager to hear what happens. Her family is staying at our house the next few days, and I don't want to make a bunch of drama with them there. Their stay was planned months and months ago, so them being here is unrelated to the current circumstances. Her family has always been good to me, so I'll wait out of respect for them. They can wait a few days, let them see their daughter and all that, and your son, and go from there. I'm really torn up about all this because like I said, I never wanted any of this to happen. I believe you. I believe that you married her with the best of intentions, and you did the best you could, and you were loyal to her, and you busted your butt to provide and made sacrifices. I believe that. Who wants to go through all this shit? And let's not forget, guys, that this is a gal that he loves, obviously, and he had his heart broken finding out what she was doing. Right? I mean, it's terrible. I understand that the damage is done, but it's hard to accept sometimes. I cannot see her the same way, and I doubt I ever will. Bro, you won't. You won't ever see her the same. You will always be replaying in your head the messages that you read, pictures that you saw, and then the things didn't happen, you'll be imagining the worst. Not to mention the fact that you can't trust her because her actions have demonstrated that the second things get tough, this is how she deals with the problems. And there are a lot of people out there in this world, both men and women, that do the same shit. They're not relationship material. But you are young, man. You are under 30. You got your whole life ahead of you. Okay? You'll look back at this one day and say, yeah, I went through hell and everything, but it was the best decision I ever made. And you can say the silver lining the whole thing is you got your amazing child. The most difficult part is that we picked orders to move overseas next year. And now I'm not sure what is going to happen with all that. I'll likely end up going with her and having my divorce finalized shortly after. Oh, God. The reason for this is that while she betrayed me, I cannot morally remove her from her daughter. Okay, daughter, my bad. For a second I was thinking it was a son. Our child isn't innocent and needs a mother as much as a father. I'm still getting my ducks in a row on that, but the goal is to go with her. The duration of this overseas stationing will be 3 to 4 years. I can't imagine how that's going to go with you guys splitting up and all that, but okay, you'll figure it out, but good Lord. As far as her and her affair partner, I've caught them talking still. Of course, this is my point why you can't be with her. Once a cheater, always a cheater, and I'm sure they're not talking about breaking up or anything. She's been better about covering her tracks, so I'm not sure what they talk about. But the evidence of correspondence is still there. I'll keep tabs on that for now, but the longer I snoop, the more emotionally painful it all is. It wasn't just an affair for the sake of sexual gratification. It was a full-blown relationship. You know, in a way, and some of you guys may disagree with me, in a way that's way worse. It's bad enough if, they were doing the dirty deed. But the fact that it was a full-blown relationship and emotions and all that, that takes it to a whole new level. I'll spare you most of the details, but she was telling him that she was in love with him and that she didn't want to wait for her. She didn't want to wait for her and I to get a divorce before she could be with him. Lots more than that, and much worse too, was also said. I'm sorry, bro, I really am. And this is the thanks you get for marrying her at 21 when probably some people told you not to do it. No offense. Or making sacrifices for her and busting your butt to help do whatever you can to help provide for the family. You get the point. That's the thanks you get. Welcome to marriage in the 2020s. And people wonder why so many guys are checking out of marriage and not getting in relationships and not dating even. She is practically begging me to stay with her. All the while she's talking to her lover, telling him how much he loves her. Really? But I'm not hearing any of it. I know I'll never forgive her, and I think that it's far better for our child to grow up with friendly co-parents rather than a dysfunctional household. Yes, exactly, bro. I 100% agree. My wife can be a little hot-headed sometimes and let her anger get the better of her in some cases. There's been a time or two where she has assaulted me. That's right. Didn't you tell me she smacked you or something? Unless I'm thinking of a different story. Right. You can't be in a situation like that. Nothing crazy enough to need medical attention, but it happened nonetheless. Yeah, well, that's how it starts. It becomes a little shove, and the next time it becomes a slap, and next time it becomes a punch, and next thing you know, you're getting the china thrown at you. Most recently, it happened when she demanded to go through my phone after I caught her cheating. You catch her cheating, and she's demanding going through your phone. She was probably hoping to find proof to justify her actions. And I refused. I have nothing to hide, but I'm afraid she'll start messaging my friends and family. I'm figuring it all out, or it's just going to take time. I appreciate you and your viewers for the inputs. Shout out to my dad who showed me your channel and recommend I email you in the first place. Well, yes, shout out to your old man, and that's great that he sent you to me, and I really do hope that I've been helpful, and all the guys who took their time to write to you and comment on your video were helpful too, and I obviously think it has helped you. But just know this, man. You may feel very alone at this moment. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders and all this uncertainty and turmoil going on. There are guys out there that have been through this shit, as I'm sure you're well aware by reading the comments out there, and they got your back. The second I publish this later on today, guys are going to be watching this from all over the world, eager to see what's going on with you, cheering you on, giving you support. Just know that, okay? And if you ever feel alone and things are difficult, watch the videos again and read the comments. These guys got your back, because there are guys out there that have been through this shit, all right? And if can be a silver line to all the pain they went through, is they can share their wisdom with a young guy like you to help you get through this. And you will get through this, okay? It may seem like you won't now, and I know you plan to issue the papers once the in-laws are gone in a couple days, but you'll get through this day by day. Talk to the people that care about you. Your dad who recommended me to you. Work with him. He'll be there with you, okay? And you will get through this, okay? Trust me, you will. And then you will then one day, hopefully, share your wisdom to somebody else, and they won't go through the same hurt and pain. And also, by you sharing your story here, I know you're seeking guidance for help from me and other dudes around the world who've been through this. Also, your story will help other guys out there have strength when they feel like their world is imploding. So you're doing a great service, not only for yourself, but other guys that will watch this video, whether it be this week or in 5 years and they stumble upon my channel if I'm still on YouTube and they don't throw me off. So, bro, I wish you the best. Do what you got to do. You will get through this. And when you're ready, if you want to send an update, whether it be a good update or a bad update, whatever, if you need more help, write into me, and I will do your video as soon as I see it, and we'll get you through this. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. Please pick a moment. Show this guy some support just like last time. He needs it. This is a young brother going through a tough time, and you taking the time to write him really will help him get through this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.